Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor. We are going to talk about Luke Cage, Season 1, Episode 12, the penultimate episode. It's called Soliloquy of Chaos. Full spoilers for the episode. Now, we spent some time theorising what Episode 12 would be after the end of 11, and within
Once
minutes...
again,
Yeah.
we were completely wrong.
Within minutes, before the opening titles even, Luke had escaped police custody and was on the run. Which is not what we guessed at all. We were off in all directions. We were saying, oh, the last two episodes will be them from within, deciding they need his help, so they're going to let him go, and
Nope.
bollocks. Complete bollocks.
God, that's so wrong.
But what did happen is that one police officer did let him go, because he had him. He had him caught. And he just, little symbolic thing, like let us know that, not everyone is rooting against him. Some people do believe him. There's the legend of Luke Cage is spreading, which is cemented when he runs into a famous person. He sees some people robbing a store, and he goes in to intervene. And there just happens to be, I believe, Method Man is the celebrity.
Aye, from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, who I did not recognise, by the way. I didn't even know who it was until they said it on the radio show. Just, I want you to know that. But I got that it was famous because obviously the way they spoke, and
Yeah.
I got it from context. And he takes his hoodie as well because he happens to be the same size. But it all leads to this wonderful montage of this shop owner starts selling hoodies with bullet holes in them. Because it was one of the things I actually thought of when he was walking around before this scene. It was like, yeah, he can turn his back to the police car, but there's bullet holes in it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really kind of obvious that it's him. And all of these other people start wearing these hoodies with holes in them, so that as a sign of like that they support him. And
It was really tense because in that montage, I think this has him doing the rap over the top,
yeah,
and the police like go up to one of them who they think is Luke Cage, obviously because of the hoodie, and he's like got his hands up and they've got the guns on him, and I really thought they might actually shoot him.
yeah. I mean,
I really thought it was going to go there.
It's funny, you could look at it in two ways. You could be really cynical and say the only reason why he didn't get shot is because they already knew he was bulletproof,
Yeah.
and that's why he's still alive. Or you could look at it the other way and say, why do those idiots have their guns out? They know he's bulletproof. Like, you could go either way with it. But yeah, it plays with that, and it's a really nice montage because it gives you that sense that the legend of Luke Cage is spreading, and it's been something that's been kind of building since the start of the show. That his name's getting around there, and they're starting to understand that he exists, and that he's a man of the people, and the people themselves are starting to notice, and
It's really quite uplifting as well, like weirdly.
Oh,
Given the imagery that's shown, like obviously like there's cops going after this black guy, like it's quite uplifting message overall.
yeah, because it is. It just is. And of course, Misty as well inside the police is obviously as well trying to convince the inspector that Luke's innocent, and she's actually fully kind of believing that he probably is, that there is this other element, but they have to do it by the book and bring him in. And Misty's, gets the phone call from Luke, and she goes and meets him, and they set things up. And look, Batman's out of a scene.
He does. It's fantastic.
Not very successfully, because she does track him, but he does Batman out of a scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll point that out. Otherwise, obviously, a lot of this episode focuses on building the various villains in the show. Diamondback is setting up new stuff. We see Tusk again, or Turk. Sorry, not Tusk. Turk. Yeah,
It's like, what are you on about?
Turk is back, and he's setting up deals with him, and he's building things up. Meanwhile, he's kind of got Mariah trapped in a situation where she has to kind of work with him. And he plans to kill Shades. He actually bails Shades out, which is, I think millions of dollars, they say, and only just so that he can kill him.
I was just say Shades is hilarious in the interrogation room.
Oh, he is. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I seen who killed him. First name, Law. Second name, yeah.
It's as soon as he starts that story because like he puts on like the act that he's breaking. It's like, nah, this ain't real. That's too easy. Yeah. You can see it coming, but it's still hilarious.
Oh, he's great the whole time. Actually, Joe really cracked me up in this one. Zip, in the first scene he's in, walks in wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And like he's trying to be the new Shades.
And Diamondback's just like, take those off.
It really made me laugh.
I was a little bit worried for my boy Shades though for a second.
Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with him. He fought out of that. I mean, there was 3 of them in that elevator with him, and he fought them all off.
Yeah,
And
it's cool.
the scene in the roof as well was actually quite well done. Where he shoots him. Where he shoots Zip.
Yeah,
It's actually a really well done scene.
I love it. And then after he sees his shades in his pocket, and he's
Yeah.
just like, nice. It's so good.
He's so cheesy, but it works. I don't know why it works, but it does.
It really shouldn't work. It's so different to everything else, but it's fantastic.
It's that way he tilts his head when he talks as well.
Oh man, it's my favorite. It really is.
And he's got that smirk in his face almost all the time.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah. So they came up with this plan where they want to actually team up with Luke to take on Diamondback. Because the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and Diamondback's so powerful and has them scared basically. That and Dan Diego? No, it's not that.
Domingo,
Yeah, Domingo, yeah.
yeah, so that.
Yeah, even him and his partners are like, right, with all the other crime bosses gone, if we take out Diamondback, we rule everything. We have the whole city to ourselves. So they try this, and it's all building up. And Diamondback references that he has this weapon that he calls one of the 7 deadly sins. He calls it Wrath, and when he opened it and it was like a red light, like when the shooting was all going off, I was like, "Is that mech suit? Has he got a mech suit?" Like I wasn't sure where they were going with it, because we've seen that he's got these gloves, these power gloves that kind of make his punches as strong as what Luke's are. So I felt it was going to be an extension of that, but I wasn't sure how outlandish it was going to get.
It's pretty outlandish, I feel.
It is pretty outlandish. It's not like I was thinking full on Lex Luthor.
Yeah, it's not quite that far, but it is so out of place. Like even Bobby Fish is like, really? What the hell are you wearing?
Oh, by the way, poor Bobby Fischer. His windows are broken already. He's put a lot of effort into fixing this shop.
I love
when
he's like, look, I just fixed it up. Can you take it outside? And they're all just like, nah.
Poor guy. Dear. So this all comes to a head. Obviously, Luke's been running around, and he's put Turk in a dumpster and left him in there with it all crushed in. Oh dear, lots of fun. Obviously, Candice as well is going to talk about everything that's went down.
Yeah.
To Misty, and that's it, and all this. So all these threads are kind of coming together here just before the finale, and of course the big cliffhanger is that all our main players will get Misty, Luke, Shades, and Mariah all in the barber shop, and
Bobby Fish.
And Bobby Fish. And Bobby Fish, and of course Diamondback shows up in his outfit with his mask on. His outfit, whatever it's made of, is bulletproof because Shades tries shooting him, and he looks a little bit ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. I did Google him afterwards because I was like, you know what? Obviously, Diamondback will be a character in the comics. I want to see what he looks like. And all the images I've seen on Google, right, from my quick search, did not have the headpiece. But the rest of it was pretty faithful from the looks of it. The whole idea that it was a sort of almost an open jacket style thing with a yellow thing underneath.
Yeah.
Was the comic character.
Okay, fair enough. I haven't seen him. But...
Also, there was at least 3 Diamondbacks in the comics. Willie Stryker being the first.
Fair enough. It was the sort of thing where I just assumed it was a comic costume because that's the only thing it could be.
I was just curious how accurate it was,
But it looked so out of place in this, I felt.
It did feel a bit goofy. But at the same time, in a weird way, it does kind of fit his personality.
It does. It does in a way. But it was just like... Because obviously they've had references to Luke's costumes and stuff. The tiara, the yellow.
Yeah.
But he's always kind of taking it with a pinch of salt. This is like,
I think my complaint would be it's not outlandish enough. Because they show it's bulletproof, right? And I'm like, but it just looks like a...
It looks like a jacket.
Yeah, you should have made this a bit more armoured looking, and it would have, it might have been a bit more outlandish, but it would have sold what it was
Why
doing
it
better.
was doing, yeah. Oh, okay, that's fair.
So that would be my issue. I mean, I like the fact that it ends with them running at each other like a proper superhero fight, because they've kind of shied away from it for a lot of the season, and it feels like in the final episode they're going to go full on, right, let's have a fight in the street and
Yeah,
throw
because we had
posts
the
at each other.
depowered, we had essentially the depowered version when Luke was shot and we were in the theater.
Which is nice because that builds things up because you get like the neutered version of it.
Yeah, and now
And
we get the real version.
yeah, and now Luke's back at full strength. Diamondback's got this suit and technology to help him be up to, par.
It's a shame it has to go down in pops and probably destroy the place again.
I'm hoping they'll quickly throw each other out, but I mean,
Yeah. I would say I actually really liked it going back to pops. I feel like the show's kind of missed that in the middle kind of area of the show.
it did. I would even argue that the whole idea of Luke gaining a reputation on the streets kind of went on pause for about 4 or 5 episodes. While while he was injured, while he left, and even in the last episode that he was back, it was all the which don't get me wrong, the hostage situation was great, but it felt like that was missing. Like the first 6-7 episodes were all about that almost, and then it kind of shied away from it. In fact, it almost feels like ages ago now that we even had Cottonmouth. Like it feels like so long
Don't get me
ago.
wrong, this stuff has been really good still.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like it has suffered a little bit overall looking at the season, like up to this point, that
Well,
we've gone so long without some of these themes.
we will go back to we'll do a proper analysis of that
Yeah.
in the next episode because I imagine the next one will be a more of a lengthy discussion because we'll have the full season as a whole to look at and compare it to the other Netflix shows and
Yeah.
what worked,
This,
what didn't.
this
but-
episode was very good, but it was also very much kind of, right, let's just get ready for the final.
yeah, everything was about getting things in place for the finale.
Yeah. Which is fine. It's got to do it. And
That
it
said,
did it very well.
That said, I did really like all the idea of his fame and being touted on the radio, the rap song over the montage of all these other people wearing the hoodies.
That's one of my favourite moments from the show, I think.
Yeah, because it shows that they all respect him and that he's a hero of the people on the streets. That they all know him. Well, maybe not all know him personally, but his legend is spreading and he's becoming this like, I think in the rap song, one of the lyrics is even along the lines of like there's no Iron Man saving us down here, but we have
Yeah,
him.
it's
like
it's the idea that even if he doesn't know them personally, he's the hero of the common people. Whereas,
Yeah.
like compared to Iron Man stopping these existential threats.
Yeah. So also, I do what just something occurred to me in this episode actually. Do you know how the Incredible Hulk that movie, the big final fight, that took place in Harlem,
It did, didn't it?
and I'm almost a little disappointed now that I've remembered that there's not been.
No reference. No.
I mean I think someone at one point did mention a green monster when they were listing off things.
But it kind of was lumped in with the Avengers in
Yeah.
general, though, wasn't it?
But like I feel like there maybe should be like I don't know like just like a
A little
building
bit of
that's
destruction.
a building that's still not been put back together because no one thought it was important enough to put this one back up after the Hulk smashed through it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just occurred to me that fight specifically took place in Harlem because even in Daredevil season 1 we see the newspaper headline that mentions it's in Harlem.
Yeah. Also, did you catch the Stan Lee
I did
poster?
catch a Stanley poster.
Yeah.
That seems to be his thing in these shows is that it's always a picture of him instead
Yeah.
of a proper cameo.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, sure, that's fine. Because it was like a "I Want You" poster, but it was just different a little bit for the police.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it got a good chuckle at me once it caught my eye.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's everything in that. Am I forgetting anything in this one?
Oh, I'm just looking forward to the last one now because obviously everything's in place for this showdown and the aftermath of that.
Yeah. No, I think that's everything. So obviously anything we have missed as a whole will be covered in the next one. We will have a big finale season discussion after we talk specifically about the finale in that video. So look forward to that. Let us know what you thought of this penultimate episode in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff helps us out a lot. Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.